Now to Capitol Hill, congressional leaders and the White House racing to hammer out details of that possible big bailout of Detroit's big three automakers. A vote on the emergency $15 billion aid package is expected in a few days. As part of the proposed deal, lawmakers want to appoint what they call a car czar to oversee the bailout. But some in Congress think the whole plan is a mistake. Joining us now on the telephone, Tennessee Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn, who is against the auto bailout. Congresswoman Blackburn, welcome to Fox News Channel this morning.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
Good to talk to you. You know, the President-elect Barack Obama this morning said that allowing one of the companies to collapse is, in his words, not an option. I mean, why do you think it is?
I think that what we have to do is look at retaining the domestic auto manufacturing industry in this country, and then what steps are necessary to make that happen. And, Eric, I will tell you, I think that right now a movement to some sort of structured Chapter 11 that would allow the auto industry to actually address their structural problems and get in there and renegotiate the contracts with suppliers, with labor, with dealers. And over the past few weeks, I've spent a good bit of time talking with not only manufacturers but also with dealers. And everyone seems to say, you know, we want to move on the road toward health and productivity, but that is going to require that we get to the root causes of this problem, and being able to restructure and reposition themselves is an important part of that.
Yeah, but you know what they say? I mean, look, 1 in 10 jobs in this country related to the auto industry. If one of the companies go bankrupt, it could cost 2.5 million jobs. I mean, this could be devastating, they say, if one of the companies goes bankrupt.
Well, and you're correct in the concern about the jobs. And for us in Tennessee, we think about the GM plant at Spring Hill and Saturn and those employees, as well as many of the suppliers that are headquartered in our state who are into plastics and rubber and tool and die. And we're very concerned about all the jobs that are tied to that. And because of that, we want to make certain that this is done properly,
but you know what,
and that the structural problems are addressed.
You know what's so ironic? You talk about the GM plant in Spring Hill. That they made Saturn there. Now they don't. 3,500 jobs. But you got 2 Nissan plants, 6,500 jobs. Just this past week, VW, $1 billion plant in Chattanooga, a new VW plant down there. This while the guys up in Detroit are going down the tubes.
Well, and the overall health of the industry is of great concern to us because, as you mentioned, Nissan, which is headquartered in my district, and Toyota has the Bodine plant. We have Ford and Primus with their financial arm. All of that is an impact on our district. So what we're saying is this needs to be done right. And moving to a Chapter 11 may be the best way to move toward long-term health and continued productivity and competitiveness. Now, there are some things.
You know, if that happens, you know what's going to happen. The stock market's going to take a dive. Of tens of thousands or more, perhaps millions, they say, could go out of work. And look, at the bottom line, you really, frankly, some would say not talking about that much. $15 billion is what's on the table now. They gave 10 times that, Congresswoman, 10 times to AIG.
And I voted against all of that.
Well, they got $150 billion. So if they're giving $150 billion to the big pinstripe guys on Wall Street with the big cigars, why not give 1/10 that to keep some of the people who work for the Detroit 3, make sure they still have a job?
Eric, I had voted against both of those financial market bailouts. And looking at the auto industry, my focus is on how do we make certain that they stay competitive and that they stay healthy. There is great concern about giving money. It is interesting to see that the trustee group now is something that has been agreed to by the Speaker and the President. There is also interest in seeing that they have now put some parameters around what the legal uses of the money would be. But when you look at it, we've got to get to the bottom line of this, addressing the structural problems and making certain that they're healthy.
Got it. That's, for you, is not enough, and it is interesting that VW has that $1 billion plant going online down in your state. Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn, thanks very much for joining us.